The Amish have perfected the art of keeping their chicken coops warm during freezing winters without relying on modern heating sources like gas or electricity. Unlike commercial poultry farms that use electric heat lamps or propane-fueled heaters, the Amish employ centuries-old techniques that are not only cost-effective and sustainable, but also far safer for the birds. These methods rely on natural insulation, passive heating, composting, and innovative coop designs that trap and retain warmth in the most efficient way possible. The result is a warm, cozy environment for chickens even in the most extreme weather conditions, without increasing fire risks or energy costs. Below are 8 highly detailed Amish techniques for keeping chicken coops warm using only natural and off-grid methods. 1. Deep litter method, a natural heat generator. The deep litter method is one of the most effective, low-maintenance, and Amish-approved ways to keep a chicken coop warm during the winter. This technique involves allowing chicken droppings, straw, wood shavings, and other organic materials to build up on the coop floor over time, rather than cleaning it out frequently. As the bedding decomposes, it generates heat through natural microbial activity, much like a compost pile. This decomposition process releases warmth into the surrounding air, creating a naturally insulated floor that keeps chickens' feet warm and prevents cold air from seeping up from the ground. Amish take care over the deep litter. They move it occasionally by aerating them so that they will not go too ammonia-bilious toxic for the chicken. They dispose of the bottom's layer gradually day after day, allowing it to constantly decompose continuously throughout time as fresh layers lie on top, but not changing the whole batch at once. By the end of the winter season, the bottom layers of litter have turned into nutrient-rich compost that can be used for fertilizing crops and gardens, creating a self-sustaining cycle that benefits both the chickens and the farm. Some Amish homesteads report that their deep litter method can raise the coop's internal temperature by as much as 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit, 5 to 8 degrees Celsius, making it an invaluable method for keeping chickens comfortable without any artificial heating. 2. Thick, natural insulation for maximum heat retention. Unlike modern coops that rely on fiberglass or synthetic insulation, Amish-built chicken coops are designed using natural, breathable materials that provide excellent heat retention. The walls of the coop are often constructed with multiple layers of wood, straw, and even clay plaster, which act as a natural barrier against the cold. These thick walls trap body heat from the chickens inside the coop while simultaneously blocking out frigid winter winds. Amish farmers often stuff sheep's wool, dried grass, or shredded newspaper between the walls to create additional insulation. These materials are selected because they are inexpensive, locally sourced, and sustainable. Unlike modern foam insulation, which can break down over time and become hazardous if ingested by chickens, natural materials are completely safe and long-lasting. In addition to insulated walls, Amish chicken coops often have double-paned wooden doors and windows that help maintain warmth inside. While the single-pane glass windows allow for easy heat to escape, double-paned wooden frames will serve as a buffer, minimizing heat loss and allowing natural light to enter the coop. Thus, Amish farmers rely on these well-insulated, airtight structures that keep the chicken coops warm, draft-free, and energy-efficient all through the harsh winter months. 3. Passive solar heating. Harnessing the sun's natural warmth. Since the Amish do not make use of electric or gas heaters, they exploit the natural and renewable energy of the sun to warm their chicken coops. The technique is simple yet brilliant in its simplicity, as it utilizes the sun's heat by cleverly designing the coop to absorb and retain it during the day and release it at night when temperatures begin to drop. To maximize solar heating, Amish-built chicken coops are often positioned to face south, ensuring that the coop absorbs as much sunlight as possible during the winter months. South-facing walls are sometimes made of dark-colored wooden planks, stone, or brick, which absorb and retain heat far more effectively than lighter materials. Some Amish farmers even install repurposed glass windows, old storm doors, or clear plastic panels along the south-facing wall, allowing the sun's rays to penetrate directly into the coop. In the evening, when the sun sets and temperatures drop, the stored heat gradually radiates back into the coop, keeping the space warmer for longer. Unlike artificial heating systems, which can overheat the coop and pose fire hazards, passive solar heating provides a gentle, consistent warmth that helps maintain a stable and comfortable environment for the chickens. To further enhance this method, Amish homesteaders often place large stones, bricks, or water barrels inside the coop. These materials absorb even more heat during the day and then release it slowly at night, acting as thermal mass heat sinks. This completely free and self-sustaining method helps maintain warmth without needing a single watt of electricity, making it one of the most practical, effective, and time-tested Amish techniques for heating chicken coops. 4. Using fire-heated stones for extended radiant warmth. Besides passive solar heating, another old-fashioned Amish method is using fire-heated stones as a radiant heat source for the coop. This technique is especially useful on extremely cold nights when passive solar heat alone may not be enough to keep the chickens warm. The process involves selecting large, dense stones such as river rocks, bricks, or even cast iron plates and heating them in an outdoor fire pit for several hours before bringing them into the coop. These heated stones are carefully wrapped in burlap or placed in a metal pan filled with sand to prevent direct contact with flammable bedding materials. Once inside the coop, the stones radiate gentle heat for several hours, providing a safe and steady warmth source that chickens naturally gravitate toward. The larger the stone and the more heat-retaining its composition, the longer it stays warm. Some thick granite or iron objects can retain heat for over 8 hours, making them ideal for overnight warmth. To optimize this method, some Amish homesteaders arrange multiple stones in a designated warming area within the coop, creating a natural heat hub where chickens can roost and stay cozy. Unlike propane heaters, which can be dangerous due to fumes or fire risks, fire-heated stones emit no harmful gases, require no fuel once heated, and are completely renewable, making them a perfect off-grid heating solution. 5. Hay bale insulation, a simple yet powerful cold barrier. One of the most effective and inexpensive ways the Amish keep their chicken coops warm is by using hay bales as natural insulation. Since straw and hay have excellent insulating properties, they act as a thick, protective barrier that blocks out cold winds while trapping heat inside. This method is effective especially during intense winter periods with temperatures well below freezing for prolonged periods. In order to have maximum insulation effectiveness, the Amish stack hay bales at the outer walls of the coop to form a thick protective barrier that keeps out cold drafts. Unlike traditional insulating materials, hay bales are breathable as they allow moisture to escape and keep warmth in. This will ensure that there will be no formation of condensation within the coop. It is essential because moist conditions are hazardous, causing frostbite to a chicken's comb and wattle. In some cases, additional insulation comes from the inside in the form of stacked hay bales on the walls within the coop for warmth. Some place the hay bales on top of the roof for greater cold weather protection. This creates a structure that mimics a natural earth-sheltered home, where the insulating material surrounds the living space and keeps it consistently warm. To make this method even more effective, Amish farmers often leave a narrow gap between the coop's walls and the hay bales, which creates a small air pocket that further improves insulation. This simple but powerful technique can raise the internal temperature of a coop by 10 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, creating a warm, draft-free environment for chickens without having to use any artificial heating source. 6. Hot composting for radiant heat. Among the most fascinating and highly effective methods the Amish use to heat their chicken coops is hot composting. This method takes advantage of the natural heat produced during compost decomposition and channels it into the coop to create a self-sustaining, off-grid heating system. The process works by piling up composting materials such as manure, straw, vegetable scraps, and leaves in close proximity to the coop. As these organic materials break down and decompose, they generate significant amounts of heat, sometimes reaching internal temperatures of 130 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit, 55 to 70 degrees Celsius. Strategically placed along the coop's outer walls, this natural heat source radiates warmth into the coop while providing an additional wind barrier. Some Amish farmers take this method a step further by building a compost heap directly inside the coop's floor, using a thick layer of organic material that slowly breaks down throughout the winter months. This not only keeps the coop warm, but also enriches the soil with nutrients, making it highly fertile for planting in the spring. A properly managed compost pile can generate heat for several months, providing long-term warmth without the need for electricity or gas-powered heaters. A simple ventilation system can be set up using a more advanced version of this method, where the warm air from the compost pile is directed into the coop through underground pipes. This method is called geothermal compost heating. It provides steady flow of warm, humid air that keeps the coop at optimal temperature without risk of overheating. 7. Underground coop design for stable temperatures. Building an Amish chicken coop partially or completely underground is really innovative and also a highly efficient technique without any use of electricity. It actually takes the advantages of Earth's natural insulation, by which the soil does not lose or gain significant temperature annually. So even though in really hard winter conditions the upper buildings become vulnerable to free wind, causing them to heat rapidly. However, an underground or partially buried chicken coop is naturally protected from these temperature fluctuations. During the winter, the earth retains warmth, keeping the coop above freezing temperatures even when it's extremely cold outside. The Amish achieve this by digging a trench or partially embedding their chicken coops into a hillside. The walls of the coop are further lined with layers of stone, clay, or straw to provide additional insulation. A sloping entryway and ventilation system allow fresh air and without letting out too much heat. This method has several major advantages. Consistent warmth. Since the underground coop is enveloped by soil, it ensures a consistent temperature during winter that does not have extreme cold reach the chickens. Wind protection. Unlike traditional coops, the underground coop has shelter and will not be prone to draft as the wind from the outside may be harsh in winter. Low maintenance. Once built, this structure requires very little upkeep, as the earth itself acts as a natural insulator, eliminating the need for artificial heating sources. This technique is highly prevalent in Amish farms situated in very cold areas, where the temperature in winter may fall below freezing. Some Amish farmers even incorporate this with passive solar heating by installing a south-facing window or skylight, which will allow the sun's heat to warm the underground coop during the day. 8. Roosting bars placed for optimal warmth. A simple yet highly effective way the Amish keep their chickens warm without electricity is by strategically positioning roosting bars. In the wild, chickens instinctively roost in trees at night to stay safe from predators while also huddling together to conserve body heat. Amish farmers replicate this natural behavior by placing roosting bars in the warmest part of the coop to ensure that chickens stay as cozy as possible. Unlike some modern chicken coops that have roosting bars placed too low or too close to the ground, Amish farmers elevate their roosting bars to keep chickens away from the cold floor. Cold air naturally settles near the ground, so by positioning the roosting bars higher, the birds stay warmer. Additionally, Amish farmers build wide, flat roosting bars rather than narrow dowels, which allows chickens to fully cover their feet with their feathers while they sleep. This is crucial in preventing frostbite on their toes, which can be a common issue in freezing temperatures. To further increase warmth, roosting bars are often placed in corners or against insulated walls, where the temperature is naturally warmer and less exposed to drafts. By allowing chickens to huddle closely together on well-positioned roosting bars, Amish farmers create a natural, self-sufficient heating system that ensures the flock stays warm through even the harshest winter nights.